After our last episode against Lillestrøm in the Europa Conference League and getting knocked out, unfortunately, things in the Super League are going from strength to strength. But we've got a tough test against Young Boys today. If we were to win, we would go 6 points clear of them. But if we get beat off them, they'll go top. Let's see if we can do this. Roll that title. Welcome back, everybody, to episode 40 of the Liechtenstein Challenge here with Vaduz, and you find us again on the schedule page. So, with regards to how things have gone since the Lillestrøm game, I'm going to say they've been really positive. We have not lost a game in the league since December. Hopefully, I haven't cursed with there, but as you can see, after that draw to Lillestrøm, we were out of the Europa Conference League. So we've solely focused on the Super League. Obviously, we've got the Liechtenstein Cup to come in the near future, but we won't focus on that today. So yeah, we started off in January with a 3-0 victory at home to Winterthur. Goals from Maximano, Goliard and Akirek, our Turkish winger. And then we beat St. Gallen thanks to a Dick Oydendijk goal, 1-0 in that game. Then we took a trip to Lugano and we won that 2-0 thanks to Dick Oydendijk. And then after that, we had a 1-1 draw to Lausanne. So we've had 2 draws out of the whole sort of period since the last episode. Then a 2-1 victory at Thun, which was really nice. Goals from Victor Muschel and Maximano. Alba got a goal for Thun in the 89th minute, making it a bit nervy for us. But yeah, we're doing particularly well at this point. And then we beat one of our bogey teams, because we've got, I would say, at least 2 or 3 in the league. One of them's Lausanne, the other is Zurich. But we beat Lausanne 2-0 away from home. Goals from Gilholm, our Norwegian striker on loan from Sporting, and Maximano, again, with a goal. Sobotka doing really well in that game, and a new signing, which I'll show you in a moment, doing really well in that match. Then a home game against Basel, and as you can see from this fixture, probably didn't deserve to win it. I just wanted to show you that more in depth than the other one. We've gone back to the 3 at the back. We've been doing really well with this formation, 3-4-3 formation. And yeah, Basel destroyed us in this game based on shots and target. But Gilholm scored a goal in the 89th minute. Unfortunately, Johnson got an injury, which is really annoying, but we have cover for his position this year. But a really solid victory at home against Basel. That was then followed up with a 3-1 away win to Servette. Goals from Gilholm, Martin Schubert of all people, and as well Christian Wober as well. Tabun, who is the top scorer, I think, in the league, getting a goal in the 38th minute. And then we finished that off with a 1-1 draw at home to Zurich. I think we deserved this draw based off how many chances we got in the game. Zurich looked like they were going to get a sneaky 1-0 win away from home, but thankfully Rodrigo Rego, who's been with us for a long time now, scored from a corner, and we secured the point. So this is how things are looking in terms of the Super League. We are top of the league. Yes, we are top of the league, and we have won 17 games, 7 draws and 5 defeats. Our goal difference, unfortunately, compared to Young Boys, is slightly weaker. They are on 25, we're on 18, but we're on 58 points, and we deserved it in the second half of the season. Hopefully we can keep this going. I think unless we have a major collapse, we won't finish outside the top 6, so we should get into that sort of championship group instead of the relegation group. As you can see, though, with regards to the bottom 3 teams, I think it's between Aru, Zurich and Lugano who goes down this season. Winterthur are just too far ahead, and then the remaining teams, Lausanne, and Thun, are sort of fighting out for that 5th, 6th spot, as well as Servette as well. Basel probably going to end up challenging St. Gallen, I would say, for that 3rd spot, but I wouldn't say at the moment Basel and St. Gallen are out of it, but we are far ahead at the moment, and I'm really pleased with how we've played. The obviously remaining game that we have to play with the 29 games is Young Boys. I'll just go through some transfers that were made because we did bring in a couple of players. One who has come into the first team and done really well, and we'll get straight into this Young Boys match. And just one thing before we get into the transfers in the January transfer window, I just wanted to show you our youth intake preview for 2032. I didn't show this in the last video, that was my mistake, so apologies on that, but it is regarded as an excellent intake, and we haven't got any A standard style players, but what I'm really interested in this season, and to see how the youth intake comes through, there's 4 positions there that are C's, and I think with the players that we've had recently, say in the last 2 to 3 seasons, they've started to improve in terms of how potential they're getting. I'll maybe go through a couple of players that I mean with regards to that. I think Kuhn is one, for example, in the under 18 team. I'll just quickly go through that actually. But yeah, so like Kuhn, for example, Muller, that have come through, and as well, I'm just trying to think of others. Teal, for example, in the under 19 squad, we've got Barnacle as well, who's a Liechtenstein national. So those type of players that have come through and developed really nicely with regards to the youth intake. But as I say, I'm quite interested to see how this goes. Obviously, goalkeepers, central midfielders, wide midfielders, fullbacks, defensive midfielders, and wing backs haven't been particularly great. I'm not too concerned about that, but I'm just interested to see how those top 4 sort of branch out. It's disappointing that we've got no wing backs or not many good fullbacks coming through. That's the only disconcern I have with this intake, but it's going to be interesting, put it that way. So yeah, I'll get straight into the transfers now, and then we'll get into the game. So I just highlighted the players that have come in recently, and also the ones that we've sold. So primarily, the first one is Charlie Setford. He went out. He agreed to transfer to go to Salzburg before the January window came in, so we sold him and he's gone to Salzburg. So we're not really too fussed about him. The only other one with regards to departures is not sure if you can remember this guy, but Kenan Zejokovic. We signed him a couple of seasons ago. I think it might have been from a German club, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just double check that. Yeah, it was Wiesbaden, but he hasn't really developed in the last couple of seasons, and that's been a big factor as to why I've decided to get rid of him for about 150k. I do believe we've got some percentages with regards to that deal, but yeah, that is pretty much the outgoings. But this season we've had more transfers out than we've had transfers in with regards to fees. But I think we've spent particularly well on our fees compared to who we've let go. With regards to incomings, though, obviously Thomas Schonderhoff is the young Danish striker that we brought in before the January transfer window, but he's come through now. He's looking particularly interesting. He's going to sit into the under 18 team and just hopefully develop there, but maybe one for the future. Then we took a bit of a punt on Miroslav Zelenka, who we've instantly loaned out to Eshken Marin, who is a Liechtenstein club, which is really good because he can develop there and play regular football, even though it's not on the schedule. But there's something there for him to maybe develop. And at 17, probably behind a couple of other players in the under 18s and 19 squad, but one for the future at 17. And I thought at 130 grand, that's not too bad. Probably the most disappointing signing out of the lot of these is Eniko Azpura. As you can see, not a particularly great signing, but he only cost was £6 grand. Loaned him out straight away to Rasperville, who are our affiliate club, or one of our affiliate clubs. Um, Basically a signing for 1 year, and maybe we can make profit on him, but nothing to really scream home about. Then we signed Loic Enama from an African club. It was called Cotton Sport, I believe in Cameroon. But really like him, 6'1". I'm gonna try and loan him out to a Liechtenstein club. If not, I think he's gonna be our backup keeper in the sort of youth teams. Obviously, with Castor getting a little bit better, and I think Castor is probably our next backup keeper behind Sabotka. So, yeah, one for the future, but 18 and got a lot of time to develop. And then our main signing, and I'm really pleased with him, is David Ordonez, who we signed from Malmo. He is an Ecuadorian fullback, and he's developing quite nicely. And the reason I've signed him, he's 23, but his stats with regards to crossing, dribbling, and passing and tackling need to improve. But I think as a fullback, he is probably one of the best that I've seen with regards to scouting. He's still got plenty of time to develop, and has been doing pretty well for us, I must say. But the mentals and the physical attributes for him really stood out to me. Potentially, if worse comes to worse and we need a midfielder, emergency midfielder, he can play that role. He also can play on the right hand side as well if I need him to. And his form so far has been particularly quite decent. 2 assists, one player of the match performance. So I'm really pleased with him. And we only spent 1.1 million on him. So yeah, not looking to get this guy into the Liechtenstein national team. I think Ecuador will probably pick him up if I'm not mistaken. The only thing that worries me a little bit is that he doesn't enjoy big matches. But all of the pros look really promising, and I'm really happy with the signing. And just one final signing that I forgot to mention was Alanoun Faye, who was signed from Generational Foot in Senegal. I just had a little bit of a scout at him, and I think he's only coming in for a 2-year deal because he's quite close to the sort of age bracket of like 19, 20. And I think he looks all right for 6'6", under 200 grand. My scout thinks he's a bit okay for the senior team, but I mean, I'm looking maybe long term at this guy, potentially that he could replace somebody like Koulibaly, which I'll go into in a moment. But yeah, like 120k for a guy who's played a couple of games for Generation Foot. I really like the look of him as well. He can play on as well. He can play left-footed and right-footed. He's very reasonable at that, which is really appealing. But somebody who is already there with regards to being a ball player, maybe just needs to improve his first touch. But mental and physical attributes look really good for an 18-year-old. So I'm really pleased with this signing. This is the team we're going to go with against young boys. So you probably might be a little bit surprised that we've got Oidendank on the left, but I'll just go through the team. So it's Sabotka, Weber, Rego, and Kaminski in defence, with Siddiqui, Ordonez in the wing-back positions, Claudio and Lampe in midfield, and Maximano and Oidendank in Gilholm up front. Some interesting players on the bench with regards to Quatra and Adogu. Guarini has been playing really well, but Ordonez just overtakes him at the moment. Schubert on the bench and Goliard as well. Simon Beale has been a bit inconsistent recently. Akurek has just come back from injury, and Sani is just there because we need somebody on the bench as a striker. Araj has just come back from injury, and as you can see, Koulibaly is again injured. I'm getting a bit frustrated with Koulibaly, to be fair. Let me know what you think about this. I'm going a little bit off topic, but Koulibaly, valued at around 25 to 27 million pounds. Do we sell him next season? Because his injuries seem to pop up quite a bit, and it's getting a little bit annoying. I'm not gonna lie, and the fact that we've got players coming in, and we've also got youth players as well. Should we replace them, and should we sell them and try and get some money for the club? I don't know. I'm pondering it, but I'd love to hear your opinions on that. But yeah, Nataro is injured as well, and Johnson's obviously out. But the reason we've got Oidendenk on the left is because Acurek's just come back, and he can only play 45 minutes really from fitness team. And he's been scoring goals as a striker, but Gilholm has also been scoring goals, and I need to find a place for Gilholm first over Oidendenk. We have put a bid in twice for Gilholm, but I think the problem is contract situation. But I would like to sign him permanently because he scored a lot of goals for us this season. Maximano on the right, yeah, really developing nicely. I just wish he would score more goals. So I've sort of shoved him out of the right to maybe relieve that pressure of him scoring loads of goals. But yeah, it's something that I maybe need to work on next season. Fingers crossed, he doesn't do what that certain Romanian lad did, and you know, jetting off to a big club next season. But we haven't got any release clauses for Maximiano, so we should be all right. I'm just going to go through the opposition instructions. And let's get straight into this Young Boys match. Here's how things are looking with regards to the Super League. Young Boys are going to go with their 4-2-3-1 formation. We are going to go with our 3-4-3 formation. It's a tough test for us, I must add. But if we can beat Young Boys, it's a real statement in the league. First highlight looks to be going for us. It's just a quick throw in. I think we're looking for this pass. Kaminski here, though. Ordonez. Can he get across into the box? Oidendenk, Lampert. It's a nice ball into Maximiano. Could have been a really good start for us. But yeah, we've moved away from the sort of 4-3-3 formation because the three at the back has been working really well for us this season. I still think that's going to be the body of our team, so the 4-3-3, but we are going to be probably switching it around with regards to the three at the back. But the fact that we've got three defenders who can play that role means I'm going to stick at it for the remainder of this season anyway. 2 yellow cards, 1 for Young Boys. Just made a change to the passing there. We've got a corner now though. Maximiano, Gilholm, back to Maximiano. Oh, it should be 1-0 up. Should be 2-0 up. Those are two good chances we cannot go waste. Here's another throw in. Siddiqui, Maximiano, Weber, Claudio, Siddiqui, Rego. Can he find a pass? No, he can't. Kaminski with a long ball to Oidendenk. Plays it in. He's not onside. He's not onside. But yeah, really promising from us in the first 30 minutes or so. Whether we can keep this up is another question. 0-0 at half time. I think we've probably been the better team based on how many chances we've got. I don't know why it's looking like that. Apologies. But yeah, I'm gonna say I'm not happy. Apparently Ordonez doesn't like that, but I'm not happy that we are not 1-0 up in this game. Young Boys have been sort of let off the leash here. They are struggling though, midfielders wise. They seem to be really tired looking at the stats on that side. I think a couple of changes are needed, so we're gonna bring on Akurek. And I think as well, we will also take off Claudio. I think we'll bring on Schubert. And the only other change that I'm going to make is Quattro for Siddiqui. I was going to take off Maximiano, but I think there's something in him in terms of maybe getting a goal today. What I might do is I might swap him around for Gilholm. I've done that a couple of times in the last couple of games, so I think I'm going to do that as well. As you can see from the XG, we are dominating it. I mean, I think there's probably another change, though. I think it is going to be, unfortunately, Maximiano, I think. And maybe Ordonez as well. Yeah, I think those are the two changes. So Ordonez. And I think I'm going to bring on Simon Beale. And I'm going to put Gilholm into his normal position, because I think Simon Beale is better as the inside forward on the right hand side. So young boys have got a highlight here. It looks like just Shari. Can we get the ball off them? Emiri's through here. Of course. It had to happen, didn't it? Last minutes of the game, they've been nowhere near it. I mean, it's poor defending from us. It is really poor defending. And I don't know what Sabotka's doing there. It's frustrating as hell. Potentially offside here, maybe? Nah, no way is he offside. I don't think they deserve that, but that's the way of FM sometimes, and football. Well, yeah, another defeat there. Our first defeat in a number of weeks, and as you can see, young boys have overtook us, but we are still in this title race. Yeah, that's really annoying, I'm not going to lie. That's really annoying. Okay, we'll have a look at Gilholm later, but maybe we might offer him a new contract. But yes, we have lost our top spot, unfortunately. And Mary with that goal. Probably. But yeah, a really frustrating defeat that. I think what I'm going to do with regards to the schedule is, so the next games are Aru, Winterthur, Rugel, and St. Gallen. It'll probably be the last game of the championship group. Whether that determines we get top spot or not is another question. But yeah, we'll do that game next. But yes, we will be rolling on to season 10, which I can't quite believe. But it's definitely going to be an interesting end to the season. I am a bit annoyed after that match, I must admit. Yeah, going to young boys and not getting anything from the game, it's really disappointing, especially the way we lost. But if you don't take your chances, then you know that's how it goes. We are second in the league now, but only on goal difference. The next video will probably be either the last game in the Swiss Super League Championship stage, or if it's a game that would decide us the league or top of the league, that'll be the next video. With regards to that, though, I think if we do finish first in the league at the end of the season, we won't win the Swiss league because we are a Liechtenstein team. So, what should happen is it should go to the second place team, which probably will either be Young Boys, St. Gallen, or Basel, which is really frustrating, and I think they should let us win it personally. But yeah, if you have enjoyed the video today, despite the defeat, please do make sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I will see you for that important game coming up next. So take it easy, stay safe, bye everybody.